The hunt is officially on again, and this time, it's unlike anything we've seen before. Predator Badlands just dropped its final trailer, and it's absolutely loaded with action, lore, and more Easter eggs than a xenomorph nest. Director Dan Trachtenberg, the genius behind Prey, is back to take us into the deadliest world yet. A literal death planet called Guenna, where our young predator, Dek, faces his first and most brutal trial. Welcome back to Your Nerdy Show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. This new footage gives us our most detailed look yet at the story, the creatures, and the emotional core driving Dek's journey. So let's break down everything hidden in this new trailer. The details you missed, the lore connections to Prey and Alien, and what this means for the future of the Predator franchise. Dek crash lands on the Death Planet. The trailer opens with Dek crash landing on Genna, and from that very first roar, you can tell this isn't going to be just another hunt. He's not a battle-hardened warrior yet. He's a young predator trying to prove himself. What's really cool here is how expressive Dek's face is. You can see the emotion, shock, despair, and then pure rage. It's that combination of practical suit work and CGI facial animation that gives him so much personality, similar to what we saw in Prey's feral predator, but even more advanced. Fans were skeptical about his design when it was first revealed, but this opening scene changes everything. Dek feels alive, vulnerable, and genuinely intimidating all at once. And that's important because this movie seems to be his story. For the first time, the predator isn't the side monster or the hunter being outsmarted. He's the protagonist.
You're here to prove yourself.
Outcast from his clan. Now, what makes Dek's story even more interesting is that he might not even be hunting by choice. The trailer, along with reports from the early screening, suggests that Dek was excommunicated from his clan. He didn't plan to crash here, he was banished here. And it's not just any exile. Guenna is a planet so dangerous that even experienced Yahucha, the predator species, fear it. His lower left mandible is chipped, a small but telling detail showing he's already seen combat, maybe with his brother, and that ties directly into one of the trailer's biggest themes, family rivalry. The battle for their father's approval. On San Diego Comic-Con, it was confirmed that the predator with white dreadlocks is Dek's father, the clan leader. He's the one who punishes or banishes Dek and possibly his brother. So this isn't just a survival story. It's also a family drama set on a death planet. We even see glimpses of the two brothers clashing, both trying to earn their father's approval. The dialogue, "Failure means death. I will not fail," pretty much sums it up. Their rivalry might be what pushes Dek to go to extremes, to prove he's worthy of the clan. This storyline mirrors a recent Predator vs. Black Panther comic by Benjamin Percy, where two young Yahucha brothers fight for leadership by bringing back vibranium from Wakanda. It seems Trachtenberg's movie is expanding on that kind of mythos, turning the Predator world into something deeper and more emotional. Genna, the Death Planet. Then we get our first breathtaking look at Genna, the so-called Death Planet. Every inch of it screams danger. From the trailer shots, it's like Skull Island and Pandora had a baby and then dropped it straight into hell. The early footage reveals that Dek specifically chose Genna as his hunting ground because of how lethal it is. And the reason it's so deadly? A terrifying creature known as the Kalisk, something even Dek's father fears. This beast looks like a cross between a Lovecraftian nightmare and a xenomorph, with teeth and tendrils for days. You can tell from Dek's reaction when he faces it that this thing isn't just another hunt, it's the ultimate predator.
Is trying to kill you.
Monsters, monsters, and more monsters. If you thought the feral predator in Prey was wild, wait until you see what Dek has to deal with here. The trailer is packed with insane creature designs, easily some of the best we've ever seen in the franchise. First, there's that giant squid-like thing swinging through the jungle with a massive beak. It's given total Doctor Strange multiverse of madness vibes, like Shuma Gorath on steroids. Then there's a massive rock elephant creature with mandibles like a predator. It literally rises from the ground, its mossy skin blending into the terrain, and then its ears close together, transforming it into a rhino-like beast. That's next-level creature design, equal parts terrifying and beautiful. These creatures aren't just part of the planet, They are the planet. It's like the environment itself is alive and wants you dead. And of course, we can't forget about the exploding spores, those fleshy pod-like things surrounded by black tendrils. These have fans theorizing that they might contain some form of the black goo from Prometheus, the life-creating, chaos-inducing substance from the Alien franchise. If that's true, Badlands could be the movie that finally merges the Alien and Predator universes more directly than ever before.
We might not be alone in this hunt.
Echoes of Prey and the human connection. We also get glimpses of Tessa, played by Elle Fanning, who's rumored to play dual roles, Tessa and her twin, Thea. The two are caught in the middle of the Yautja's proving ground, and it seems like Thea might be siding with the human corporation Utani, a stand-in for Weyland Yutani, while Tessa could end up helping Dek. There's a quick shot of Dek swinging through trees with Tessa on his back, a scene that feels like a visual callback to Prey's tree sequences, where Naru evaded the feral predator. It's a clever nod that connects these two movies, possibly even setting up a shared continuity. And speaking of Prey, there's that line in the trailer text, "In this world, you are the prey unless you become the hunter." It's not just a cool tagline, it's also the same one used on the Prey poster. Total coincidence? Maybe not. The Predator, Killer of Killers, end credit scene teased that Naru had been captured and cryogenically preserved by the Yautja. Imagine if Prey's heroine actually returns in Badlands. That would be the ultimate crossover payoff. Family betrayal and predator honor. Back to Dek's family saga. One of the most intriguing parts of the trailer is how much emotion and conflict we see among the Yautja themselves. There's a powerful shot where Dek's father fights one of the brothers, possibly Dek's, while the other is trapped behind a sealed door. That trapped predator could very well be Dek, watching helplessly as his family destroys itself. This idea of predator honor, betrayal, and redemption has never been explored this deeply in the films before. It's a huge step toward turning these characters into something more than faceless hunters. Here we're seeing them as a civilization with culture, hierarchy, and generational trauma, just wrapped in armor and mandibles. The humans, the facility, and alien connections. Toward the end of the trailer, there's a massive battle between Dek and the Kalisk amid the wreckage of a human facility. Look closely, and you'll notice Weyland Yutani-style architecture, industrial corridors, cargo crates, and advanced weaponry. Some fans think this might be an origin facility, a lab used by humans to study xenomorphs, similar to the one mentioned in Alien's Colonial Marines. If that's the case, Predator Badlands could mark the most direct connection to the Alien series yet. Imagine the Kalisk being a mutation created by the Black Goo experiments, gone so horribly wrong, turning Genna into the death planet we now see. That would mean Dek isn't just fighting for his honor, he's fighting against the creation of humanity's own sins. We even get a blink-and-you'll-miss-it shot of Dek using a Yutani pulse rifle, confirming he somehow ends up wielding human tech. Another nod to the original Predator comes when he falls from a waterfall, mirroring Dutch's iconic escape scene from the 1987 classic. The Kalisk, the ultimate predator. The trailer's climax shows Dek charging at the Kalisk with a metal shield, literally ripping a door off a wrecked ship to block its attacks. He slices through his stomach, only for the creature to look at him, unfazed. That one glare says it all. Dek's biggest test has only just begun. The final shot zooms in on the monster's massive eye, hinting that this confrontation will define Dek's destiny. It's not just survival anymore, it's evolution. The emotional core of Badlands. What's really fascinating about Predator Badlands is how it's shaping up to be a character study in disguise. Beneath all the gore and creature chaos, it's a story about growth, defiance, and legacy. Deck's struggle to prove himself to his father mirrors humanity's struggle against nature and power, something Trachtenberg handled beautifully in Prey. For the first time, we're getting a Predator movie that humanizes the hunter. Deck feels vulnerable, expressive, and burdened with emotion, things we've never truly seen from this species on screen before. It's a smart way to keep the franchise fresh, while still delivering the brutal action fans crave. What we expect next. With this final trailer, the stage is set for what might be the most ambitious Predator film ever made. We've got a full Predator-led storyline, a dangerous alien world that's practically a character in itself, massive lore connections to Alien and Prey, and a potential setup for a larger shared universe. If Trachtenberg sticks the landing, Badlands could redefine the series, taking it from a monster hunt franchise to a full-blown sci-fi epic with mythology, emotion, and heart. Our nerdy thoughts. While a lot of shots in the trailer are extensions of ones we've already seen, the new footage gives us enough to piece together a clear story, one filled with betrayal, brotherhood, and brutal survival. And that's exactly what makes Predator Badlands so exciting. It's not just about who's the strongest hunter anymore. It's about what it means to hunt and what it costs. Deck's journey looks like it'll challenge not only his body, but his soul. And for the first time in Predator history, we might just find ourselves rooting for the Predator. So, as Deck would say, I will not fail. Neither, it seems, will this movie.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.